In 1960, Chubby Checker was doing the twist, Psycho was scaring everybody in the theaters, and the LA Dodgers had just won the World Series in 1959, getting ready to defend that title. It's 1960. Happy Hobby, I'm David Ganas, and we are getting into the top 10 cards from the 1960 Topps baseball set. Now, these aren't the inserts and the parallels and the error cards. When we do this series, we're just talking about the best base cards from that set. Now, we're starting in 1960. We're going to be going all over the place at all different times, so stay on your toes. Now, we're going to rank these by PSA's price guide. What the prices in their price guide shows for a card that's graded one number above the decade that the card is from. And that's called a collector's grade. Whenever you hear, I want to get a collector's grade of Stan Musial, 1958 Stan Musial, that means that you want a 6. You want a PSA 6. In this case, 1960 Topps. So we're looking for PSA 7 cards and PSA 7 values. That's how this is going to be ranked. Now I want you to stay to the end of this video because I'm going to share with you a little Roberto Clemente trivia that I'm pretty sure you did not know. Well, really, I didn't know. You may know it, but I didn't know it. But I'll save that for the end. Number 1 on the list, you might be a little surprised to see this, but it's Hammer Hank Aaron. Number 1 with a bullet on the list. Of course, Hammer Hank ended up breaking Babe Ruth's career home run record in 1974, and he would go on to hit 744 total career home runs, eventually broken by Barry Bonds, asterisk included. This is the highest rated non-rookie card in the set. Now, number 2 on the list, of course, it's the Mickey Mantle, the most collectible guy in all of sports, really. I would include Michael Jordan in that, only because Mickey Mantle's so far back that there's so few things left compared to Jordan's time in sports. But Mickey Mantle, at this point, he's been with the Yankees for a while. This was his 9th year with a Topps card. So he's a well-rounded veteran at this point, but number 2 on this list. And number 3, we got Carl Yastrzemski. Yes. Now, this was his rookie card. So this is the highest rated rookie card in the set. Now, it's important you know that the 1961 card does have a star rookie on that card as well. So make sure you don't get confused when you go trying to track down a good Carl Yastrzemski rookie card. And number 4, we're going right back to the Mick. Number 4, Mickey Mantle. That just goes to show you how collectible this guy is. 2 of his cards are among the top 4 collectible cards from the 1960 Topps set. This is All-Star card. Now, a lot of times people consider the All-Star cards a lesser version of that player's card, but it is a base card. It is just not his standard base card. It's his All-Star base card. So a lot of people look at the base cards as a little more valuable. Obviously, the price guide shows us that. But don't sleep on the All-Star cards. For me, it's a cooler design. It's actually pretty cool. It's got the 60 behind them. I don't know. I think that's a pretty awesome looking card. But who am I to make other people's tastes? Number 5 on the list, Say Hey Willie Mays. Of course, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays. Of course, they're going to be around each other. Number 5 on this list. Now, what's interesting with Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays is those two guys, they played in New York at the same time at one point. And then, of course, Willie Mays' New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers moved to California in the late 50s. But up to that point, there were all those 3 teams were in the same city. Can you imagine living in New York in the early to mid 50s and having those 3 teams with Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle and Duke Snider, Jackie Robinson? I mean, that's just amazing, all in one little city. Now, what's cool is the AL and the NL both had 8 teams in each of those leagues. So they were playing 7 teams over and over and over. There was no interleague play back then, obviously. The only time they played the other league was in the World Series. So 7 teams over and over and over. Think of the rivalries that were really created from that time period. Number 6, Willie McCovey, another Giants player. Now, this was his rookie card. And what's really cool is this is the very first Topps All-Star Rookie Cup card. Now, it's a rookie trophy, but it still counts. But it's the first time that logo has gone on one of the cards. Of course, it would end up being one of the hallmarks of the Topps cards, the Topps All-Star Rookie Cup, the Julio Rodriguez in 2023. Pretty awesome. Number 7, Roberto Clemente, considered the all-time greatest Latino baseball player in history. Obviously had his life cut a little short, had his career cut short also because he died in a plane crash doing humanitarian deeds in, I believe it was Nicaragua. Sad story, but he had a long career, and in 1960 he was rocking it. So stay tuned to the end. As I said, we'll have a good little history nugget for you. Number 8, our first pitcher on this list, Sandy Koufax. Now, at this point in 1960, he was still only 24 years old. It'd still be a little bit before he really blossomed into the superstar he was. From 1961 to 1965, in those 6 seasons, he threw over 250 innings 4 times. Sandy Koufax, not many peers in his class. And then number 9, another pitcher, we go to Bob Gibson. Now, this is his 2nd year card for Bob Gibson. It's still the 9th ranked card on this list, which just tells you how amazing the players are above him. But Bob Gibson would still be another 8 years before he would win the first of his 2 Cy Young Awards. And finally coming in at number 10, another rookie card, Jim Kaat. Now this might be the only time you see a Washington Senators player on one of these top 10 lists that I'm going to do for every year. But Jim Kaat, very special player, ended up playing 25 seasons, pitched 25 seasons in the majors, and he ended up getting inducted in the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2021. Now, some other notable cards that you might be wondering about. Hank Aaron, his all-star card with that 60 in the background, the Sport Magazine. Sport Magazine used to be a thing. Magazines used to be a thing. And then after that, Ernie Banks, of course, his regular issue base card, 1960. Willie Mays, his all-star card, that 60 all-star card. Okay, so I promised you a nice little trivia nugget based around Roberto Clemente, one of the greatest hitters of all time. So here it is. In 1954, Clemente actually signed with the Brooklyn Dodgers, if you can believe that, and he went on to play for their minor league affiliate, the Montreal Royals. Now, Pittsburgh happened to like what they saw out of this young man in Montreal, so they signed him. They picked him in the Rule 5 draft. I had no idea the Rule 5 draft went back that far, but Clemente was one of those choices, and they took him on and they played him every day, because that's the rule about Rule 5. You have to be able to put him on your roster, and that's what they did. And the Dodgers, I'm going to guess they probably regretted that. So I went back and looked at who were the players from 1954 to 1956 or whatever that was manning right field for the Dodgers. Carl Furillo. You know, he's not on this list, but Carl Furillo. I imagine his family is probably not welcome in Los Angeles these days. That's just my guess. But could you imagine an outfield with Duke Snider and Roberto Clemente with Jackie Robinson manning second base? That'd be pretty good. They would rival that would rival the offense for the Yankees, who pretty much owned the late 50s and the 60s. But that's history. So what are you going to do? All right, so I hope you like this list. I hope you have some of those cards on this list. Keep an eye out for more videos like this. We're going to be doing this. It's going to be bouncing around to different years. So for instance, the next video that's going to be coming in this series, the top 10 cards from Topps from 1978. So keep an eye out for that. Whatever you do, make sure you have a happy hobby.